What is black and white and black and white and black and white and black and white and black and white?
A zebra?
A penguin rolling down a hill.
Oh.
Now what's black and white and laughing?
What?
The penguin that pushed him.
Mean! That's mean! It's funny, but it's mean.
Oh, see, aren't you glad that I've brought the best of jokes forward for our return to recording?
I am. And speaking of returns to recording, hello everybody, welcome back to BnB Anime. I am Blue, that is Brad, that is his stupid joke, or I guess 2 jokes of the recording session. And yes, we are back, no longer having pre-recorded episodes. We are back on a weekly release. I have officially moved. I'm in a whole new place. So, yeah, it's a whole new thing.
Yeah, Blue has officially joined the present instead of living in the past like an Albertan peasant.
Yes, we are now in the same time zone. I'm now in a much more convenient time zone with the twins as well. One of them I am currently in the same time zone as, and the other one is, I think, an hour and a half out because she's in Newfoundland, and Newfoundland is the only place in the world that's a half hour out because they're special.
Just what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. They're just that little bit further than New York, so they were like, we'll add a half hour.
Oh, so they're not even an hour and a half out. They're just half an hour out. Because we're in the same time zone as New York.
Okay, well, there you go then. They're just a half hour out.
Welcome to the East Coast time zone.
Yeah. It's weird. It's very different here. I'm further south than I have ever lived because where I was in Alberta, I was on the same latitude as I was in the UK. And now I'm in, like, France, and it's very, like, hot, and I'm not used to it.
Aw, poor Blue.
It's still Canada. It's not hot at all. But, you know, to me, this is tropical.
Aw, poor Blue.
I know.
I deal with much more tropical, so I don't want to hear it.
I know.
It's so fucking hot. So humid today. It's been raining all fucking week because of the damn tropical storms coming into Florida. So it's just been hot and humid, and life sucks. It's been a week. Mm-hmm. But thankfully I'm on vacation. Life is grand.
Yes. Holiday time.
It's holiday time. Tomorrow's my birthday. It is the best holiday of the year, the most important holiday of the year, lest we forget.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I should have included a birthday card in your package, but I forgot your birthday card is sitting on my desk, which is very useful for you.
Nah, it's fine.
I didn't think to post it with that.
Speaking of, you need to get me your address so I can get you all of your shit posted so that way you can actually, have it by winter, which is fastly approaching considering you live in Canada.
It is, yeah. Well, I don't know. This winter is going to be interesting for me because apparently it doesn't get anywhere near as cold, but you get more snow because where I was in Alberta, it was so cold that it got past the point of snow. Snow kind of happens between like 2 degrees and minus 10 degrees. That's kind of the good temperature for snow. If it's anything colder than that, the air just crystallizes. So any moisture in the air just crystallizes. Which is where you see those videos of people like throwing boiling jugs of water out and then it turning into like a puff,
Mm-hmm.
That's in like minus, 30, I'd say, probably comfortably. And in Alberta, it got so cold quite often that it was just too cold for snow. So we probably only got about a foot and a half of snow every year. Whereas out here, it kind of sticks in that like -5, -7 range for pretty much the entire winter.
Uh-huh.
And apparently because of that, you get so much more snow. So we'll see.
Interesting. So what I'm hearing is that I need to fulfill my lifelong dream. So do you think Mom and Dad will let me come over and throw some boiling water into the air at some point?
They would love to host you. And I don't actually think that we've ever done it, despite knowing that it happens and having seen videos of it. I don't think we've actually ever done it.
So we need to make this happen at some point because I've always seen it done. And for some reason, it fascinates me. The part of my brain that hates science but really wants to see this shit happen in real life means I need to see this at some point.
It's because it's a Dr. Stone type experiment, isn't it? It's just a fun, stupid really experiment.
Is. We can be Chrome for once in our lives. We can be Chrome.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss Dr. Stone.
Yeah, we need a new season already.
Yeah. Speaking of, so I've been seeing a lot of like GIFs and TikToks of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I just really want to fucking watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to throw that onto the schedule, but that's
You do.
going to be such a fucking watch. I don't know. How would we do that? Do we need like a Full Metal Alchemist month? Like, is that a thing?
I feel like we could do that, and then I don't know if you would want to watch both and do a comparison, or if you just would want to watch Brotherhood.
I would say do Brotherhood first, and then at some point later, do just regular Full Metal Alchemist, just because, for one, Brotherhood is the fan favorite all across the board, pretty much.
Yeah,
but
I feel
also,
like
it's 65 episodes, whereas regular Full Metal Alchemist, I think, is 25. So it would be feasible to do Full Metal Alchemist in like or Brotherhood in like a full chunk.
Yeah.
And then as we get like your school schedule and recording and everything figured out at that point, then try to figure out how to go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who knows? We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I haven't actually brought up what we're going to be covering today. It's in the title, so you probably already know. But we are going to be doing the first season of New Game. The second season is already out and on Crunchy. So, same with the first season. So if you haven't watched it, go check it out.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's such a good watch to like just kind of ease back into things. I watched it dubbed. It was fun. I had a great time. This was a good little anime to watch.
It really is quite good. It kind of reminds me in the structural sense of K-On! It takes place over...
OP and ED reminded me a lot of K-On!
Really?
Too.
Okay, so we
Did
both
you not
got
get those vibes? Yeah.
Yeah, I both kind of got those vibes. Like, the structural sense takes place over a year, and the way that they do the sketches, the episodes are kind of like a small block, and then there is a linear plotline, but the linear plotline is kind of parallel to the important focus of the episode, which is a short story, and then like it's threaded through the year's timeline, if you know what I mean. Which I thought was incredibly similar to the way that they structured K-On! And a couple of other of these slice of life style animes.
Yeah, this like stretched across about 6 months, and it kind of felt like it at times, but other times it'd be like, oh, this could be like a week-to-week thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was an interesting timeline. However, it was cool to see how everything progressed. It was fun. Yeah,
it's a very interesting concept. I don't think I've ever... I mean, it's kind of like making an anime on an anime. You know what I mean? How to make an anime the anime.
Pretty much.
Which I'd be down to watch.
Speaking of, so there is a new anime that's being released that follows voice actresses.
Ooh.
So that's a handy-dandy piece of news that I found out this week. And apparently the trailer the teaser trailer has been revealed, and apparently it's slated to come out, I think, in October?
That's definitely one to watch for us then.
Yes, it's going to be very meta and very fun. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Any other news?
Always more news. We have like 3 weeks worth of news to catch up on.
I was going to say,
do you mean?
It has been such a time.
It has.
So much busy stuff.
Yeah.
The whole world's gone to shit since we last recorded as well.
Yes, world has gone to shit. Everything is burning. Again, how many times have we said that during the duration of this podcast?
Well, we started the podcast. It was pre-COVID. Was it pre-COVID?
No, COVID began in January and we started this bitch in March.
Right, so it was like just after.
So COVID is older than this podcast. That's just really weird to think about.
Yeah, so basically since we started this podcast, the world has consistently gone downhill.
Yeah,
which is great for us.
Yeah.
Good energy that we're putting out here, right?
Right? But at the same time, though, I mean, we picked a great time to jump on this train, though.
Yeah.
Because why not try to make the world a little bit brighter by talking about anime?
Yeah.
Or shitting on anime, depending on that.
Or shitting on anime. Speaking of which, you remember how I was doing those dropped percentages?
Yes, I was going to ask if you checked the drop percentage for this one.
I have, actually, for this one, and I'll get to that when I start talking about the stats. But I went back, and I only got to episode 18, so I haven't done all of them yet. In fact, I've got quite a few more. But so far, the one with the biggest drop percentage is something that you're gonna love. Is Dive.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, it's got a 20.72% drop rate.
Oh my god, it deserves it. It's so bad.
It's more than double anything else. The second highest is Are You Lost with a 9.7.
Aw, boo.
I know. I think it's just because the episodes were so short.
Yeah, but Actually, you know what? Just because of that, I'm going to throw Aho Girl onto the schedule just so you can check the drop rating for that one.
Yeah.
Because it's also incredibly short, but it's so fucking funny.
Mm-hmm. I would be interested to compare them because I find Are You Lost hilarious, but it seems like I'm one of the few that do because that's a very high drop rate.
Fuck it, we'll do that next week. I don't know what I have on the schedule for next week, but Aho Girl's going on the schedule.
We'll see. We'll see.
I don't even know what I have scheduled. Who knows? Anyway, next piece of news. Our worst fears have been realized.
Oh, no.
Funimation has officially acquired Crunchyroll.
Boo! Anime monopoly. Boo!
That day.
Yeah.
However, I am at least hoping from a application standpoint, hopefully the two can finally come together and make an app or something that's just going to run so much smoother than what we're used to.
Yeah.
Because one works so much better on PC than it does on mobile, and one works so much better on mobile than it does on PC. So maybe the two can come together and make something that's going to actually fucking work for both.
Yeah, I'm just worried now about the subscription rates increasing.
Apparently they're not going to because they need to be able to still compete with things like Netflix and other streaming services. Disney Plus is stupid fucking cheap for all the content that you get with it.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to try to keep it competitive. Also, Crunchyroll and Funimation are relatively inexpensive as it is.
That's true. For a streaming service, they do run on the cheaper side for their just regular
Yeah,
prices.
I think Crunchy runs at the same price as Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. And Crunchy has such a vast backlog of anime. So it makes sense.
Yeah, and Crunchy has it in so many different languages as well. I mean, I know that others have things in different languages too, but I feel like it's more accessible through Crunchy. I see them more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know with Funimation, I don't know what it is with their licensing or distribution rights, but I know whenever I watched New Game initially, I watched it on Funimation dubbed, which is why I watched it dubbed again.
Right.
This time. And it was no longer on Funimation. It was on Crunchy. So I don't know if they fucked up the DVD release like what they did with ReZero, and so they just lost the rights to it altogether. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something somewhere is getting fucked up.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder what they're going to do. I mean, I suppose they're probably going to try and keep Crunchy and Funimation as two separate companies and try and keep them separate and just have the same, parental figure, the umbrella figure at the top. Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, I'm curious as to how the rights are going to go now, because they're still going to need to be competitive with each other because they're not merging.
Not certain on that one. I don't know if they're actually going to come together or what the deal is. I guess only time will tell.
I feel like it would be silly for them to merge because quite a few people have both subscriptions. Like most anime watchers I know, if they're going to get a subscription, they tend to go for both Funimation and Crunchy. And so there's a common viewer in them. And if they merge, they're going to lose those common viewers because they're only going to be paying for one subscription. Mm-hmm. I feel like it would be a bad move to merge the two companies.
I feel like at the very least, they will not merge them until whatever contract they have with Verve is done.
Right.
Because Verve is a mixture of the catalogs of both Crunchy and Funimation.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I feel like it would at least be wise to wait until that runs out and then merge the two in some shape, form, or fashion.
You know what I could see? I could see them, because you have Crunchyroll audience, you have a Funimation audience, and you have the combined audience. I could see them doing a deal where it's if you have a Crunchyroll subscription, it's only a couple more dollars, kind of like it is for the Crunchyroll Executive or whatever it is, where you can download unlimited amount of Crunchyroll episodes, whatever's on Crunchy. Mm-hmm. I feel like they might do that, but for a package, you can then get Crunchyroll and Funimation, because that will probably gain them more dual audience, and then give their current people who like both, give them we're getting a bonus, and so they're going to become more loyal. And then I could see more people then going for both packages, and then because it's a monthly payment, they're actually probably going to make a fair profit out of doing that.
Or I'll take your idea and raise you one. Mm-hmm. So let Crunchy continue to handle the Japanese licensing and production of the DVDs and stuff like that. Let Funimation handle all of the dub licensing and stuff like that, and continue on with that path, and also continue working on the streaming services to kind of up the game of that, and then have a kind of tiered option for your subscription payment. Either have a sub option, a dub option, or for like $3 or $4 more, have a combined option to where you get the catalogs of both.
Right.
Because some people are very, very, very sub exclusive or dub exclusive, and some people like me, I'm partial to however the fuck I watch the show to begin with.
Right.
So therefore, I would much rather pay an extra $4 or $5 and cut 2 subscriptions and just have one, rather than, you know, just keep paying for multiple. And it's a better way to kind of streamline everything and have everything all together under one umbrella.
I wonder about the legalities of that, because wouldn't that be considered like bad for language and language like, I don't know if there's like specific language laws and distribution of film and media as to like, if you're producing something, it has to be able to be accessible for subtitles or language, like to a certain extent. I don't know if you could withhold it for more of a payment from someone.
But you have the option. Because, again, the dub would obviously have a subtitle option for those that are, you know, hearing disabled.
Yeah.
Like, the closed captions are always going to be an option regardless of whether you're watching subbed or dubbed. And the translation is going to be exactly the same regardless.
Yeah.
So I don't foresee that necessarily being an issue.
I think it would just it's a bit of a grey area, a bit of a blurred line. I don't know if there's any legalities, but I could see there being a legality of not being able to withhold subscription or a language from someone for profit. I think that's the thing, is it would be for profit, and I think that's where the line might blur, because I know that obviously you can release anything in whatever language you want, and that's not an issue. It's the withholding language or withholding subtitle for profit that's where I get like, oh, maybe there's a law there, but I don't know.
Well, up until a couple of years ago, it was very widely known. If you want to watch something subbed, you go to Crunchy, and if you want to watch something dubbed, you go to Funimation.
Yeah.
And that was how things were separated. Both streaming services got both versions. One would just be subbed and one would just be dubbed. And also, is it realistically for profit? Whenever you pay $8 for Crunchy and $9 for Funimation, so that's like a total of what, $17? Or you can choose either one or the other for like $8 or pay an extra $5 to get both.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I don't necessarily see that being a for-profit thing. But then again, who knows how all this is going to fucking play out. I have no clue.
Yeah, one thing I am quite interested on is their merch stores. I wonder if they currently use the same distributor, or if they're going to, like, if they use different distributors and then they're going to merge. Because that's one thing I see with most companies, is that merch and like products tend to end up then being moved to the same warehouse to save money and the same distribution stuff. So I'm wondering now if you're going to start seeing like the merch that's coming out of Crunchyroll being branded the same as the stuff from Funimation, and they might develop a co-store between the two. Because I feel like that's probably one of the first areas you'll see a merge if it does happen.
I hope not, considering the lawsuit that Funimation is currently going through with their website being not very feasible for the blind people.
Yeah.
So who knows? However, I could see that potentially becoming a thing from a distribution perspective. However, I am often curious how Crunchyroll does their distribution, and if a lot of their stuff is Japanese based, because their stuff is, especially their figures, are priced significantly higher than other places. And I get it, they're high quality statues. Yeah. However, is it really worth 2 to 3 times the money? So I wonder if they're actually sourced from Japan, or what their marketing, production, and distribution is on a lot of their stuff. Because Crunchy has some very like exclusive and top-notch merchandise being made. So I'm often curious of where that's actually sourced from, where they get it from, and why.
Do you think you could end up seeing a kind of, I don't really know how to word this, but kind of like one site becomes like designer anime and the other site becomes kind of like cheap anime in a way? Because that, with you saying that, it kind of makes me wonder if that's going to be the case, in the sense that like Crunchyroll has higher figurines, and then they might do like pure cotton t-shirts and that kind of stuff. And then, but it's still the same company. It's like a Gap, Old Navy, and Banana Republic are all the same company. It's just they're different levels of quality and different price ranges. And I feel like I could see the same thing happening between anime products being released from Funimation maybe being a bit cheaper and Crunchy being more expensive, or vice versa.
I don't foresee that necessarily being a thing, considering how many other companies are getting licensing to anime merchandising.
Right.
Places like Hot Topic and hell, even Walmart and Amazon have officially licensed anime merch.
Yeah.
So ultimately, all I want to come out of this is just a better viewing experience for all anime fans, especially as anime is becoming more mainstream, or at least available to a wider audience. And that's what I'm hoping this has the ability to bring on, you know, that kind of more widespread availability for people. Because again, some anime are region locked from one or the other, depending on the streaming service. So hopefully this just makes it more available.
Yeah.
For everyone, regardless of what happens, as long as a lot of the technical issues are fixed and prices and everything don't get too fucked. I'm okay with whatever happens, just so long as the landscape of anime doesn't change, but the quality of the landscape of anime continues to grow and get better.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see in a few months.
Who knows? Also, on the notice, or whatever the fuck I'm trying to say, of the anime landscape, Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers are teaming up to co-produce an original anime.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited. I don't know what the hell's going to happen, but it's Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
I have no clue what it's going to be about. I don't know what they're doing, but who knows? It could be fun.
They're classifying it as anime.
Yes, it is classified as an original anime.
Interesting. Because I know there's that whole debate about The Last Airbender as to whether or not that's anime or not.
I think considering it was made here, even though they brought in Japanese animators, scripters, and whatnot, since it wasn't like entirely made by a Japanese studio or made in Japan, a lot of people have a issue with that, but it's still not. I don't believe that Nickelodeon classified it as anime. I think ultimately anime is just going to be classified by however its publisher kind of produces it.
Right.
So considering Cartoon Network, even though Cartoon Network is what it is, the fact that it's actually being boasted as anime, then I guess it's classified as anime. Who knows? Yeah,
because I'm interested as to what the public's definition of anime is, considering that I think it's been quite established that it's not just an art style, especially considering the vast range of art styles that there have been with anime throughout the years. So I don't think you can classify it specifically as an art style. I'm also not entirely sure that you can anymore classify it as a cartoon coming out of Japan, because you do see people calling Korean and sometimes French, cartoons. You see them classifying them as anime as well. So I'm not entirely sure what the general public considers, especially what our general public in North America and in Europe and Australia and places, what we consider anime to be.
Well, at this point, we all know the anime community, no matter how you want to look at it, has a very huge problem with something called gatekeeping.
Yeah, true.
So, and we are one of the absolute worst. Well, us in the video game community, which, anyway. So, I think the general public are going to have their own opinions. However, if the companies that are working on it are actually saying it's an anime, fuck it, it's an anime. We don't have any right to necessarily argue that fact.
Right.
But we all have opinions, so whether we like it, don't like it, how we feel about it, whether it feels like an anime or not, who knows? But that's all for us to decide, and for us to decide whether we want to cover it on this podcast, which if we do cover it on the podcast, I guess we classify it as an anime. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, well, because it is such a debate now because you can't even say that it's necessarily a 2D thing, you know?
No, because of the
3D
introduction of 3D and CGI and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, and I mean, what happens if you take a team of people and you go to Japan, you get funded by Japanese people, so the money is Japanese, the place where it's being produced is Japanese, but the team of people aren't Japanese. They make an anime, release it in Japan in Japanese, then release it in North America. Is that considered an anime? Because it's an animation of the same art style that you can't even really classify itself because that's so broad. But it was released in Japan, but the team of people that wrote it, drew it, voiced it, they were Japanese, I don't know. Is that an anime? Like, it's such a blurry line for people that I don't know how to be like, this is where it is, that's an anime, this isn't anymore.
Who knows?
Curious. Very curious.
Find out next time. I don't know.
No, I want to know your guys' opinions that are listening. It's been a little while since we've been able to interact with you as quickly as we have, obviously, because the last few episodes were pre-recorded. So be sure to drop your thoughts in the comments, either on the website or down below the video if you're listening on YouTube, or hit us up on those DMs on Twitter or Instagram, because, yeah, we're very, very curious, especially about this subject. I feel like this is such a personal response. Everybody's going to have a slightly different, like, thought process on how to classify things. So I'm very interested.
Yeah, I'll make sure Blue reads all of them.
Yes, he will. Because I will forget, and then he'll be like, hey, you remember this thing that you talked about? And I'll be like, oh, yes, I do. I'm curious.
Yeah, you did this. This is on you.
It's on me.
So you get to deal with it. You lay in the bed that you made. And last and final piece of news. So Comey Can't Communicate officially has a release date for October 6th, and I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait for this adorable little anime. I'm pumped. I need something good to watch week to week besides Demon Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
Also, apparently the My Hero Academia film has absolutely kicked off in Japan and opened its highest ratings in the box office out of the whole series. Like, it has blown all of that out of the water.
Nice.
So it's kicking ass.
Yeah, good.
So I'm excited. It needs to hurry up and come out here in the States so I can see it before COVID decides to lock shit down again.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think I have any theatres that are open near me yet, but where I'm at is doing okay. And most people are getting vaccinated very quickly. Canada's doing quite well with vaccines. So we'll see.
I am very upset because we have a certain asshole friend that lives in the UK that has the ability to watch Josei the Tiger and the Fish, and I'm jealous because I want to see that shit again.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not they have theaters open over there like we had talked about before, that's a different story. However, he has the ability to see it, and it makes me upset because I want to watch it again.
Yeah. I don't actually know about cinemas in the UK.
I don't either. Who knows? I know that things are kind of like slowly opening up more and more over there, at least from the wrestling YouTube channel that I watch that's based out of the UK.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have no clue. Shall we jump into our topic for the week?
Yes. Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah. So New Game was initially a manga that was written by Shotaro Tokuno. Its original run was from January 28th of 2013 to present. It is still currently running and currently at a total of 12 volumes. The anime was directed by Yosuyuki Fujiwara. Its original run was from July 4th of 2016 to September 26th of 2017 for a grand total of 12 episodes. The studio is Doga Kobo, and we just covered them the other week, and I can't remember what the fuck they're known for. Hold on. I am very bad at looking shit up.
They are known for
Umaru-chan!
Yes.
That's right. That's what it was. Oh, hey, look at that. I can actually do some really quick research.
Trying to see if there's anything else that I know.
You know, I don't know if there will be. I mean, not trying to take a dig at you, but a lot of the stuff that they've made is outside your realm of what you would actually like to watch.
How dare you?
Am I wrong?
No, you're not at all wrong.
Sometimes I throw shit on the schedule and I'm like, you know, Blue, like, this is just definitely outside her realm of what she would watch. She might hate me for this. Who knows? I
like it, though, because it means that I really do get, like, a full expansion of my anime. I feel like it's very easy to get stuck in a hole, in a genre, And it's kind of nice to have somebody there to be like, no, you have to sit down and watch this thing that you're going to wrinkle your nose at. But after you started watching it, you go, oh, okay, that wasn't actually that bad. And then you start exploring a whole new bubble, and then you get lost in that bubble and you forget about the previous bubble that you were in. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a good time.
Oh, no, I totally get it, because that's kind of, very easy for anime watchers to kind of fall down that rabbit hole of I like this and only like this. I don't want to watch anything else.
I feel like humans tend to do that a lot. I feel like I know a lot of people that do that with food or music or clothing styles. Like, I feel like we find a thing that we like and we hold on to that thing and we just do that one thing for a long time. And then we're like, oh, wait a second. There was all of this other shit that we could have done as well that we've just ignored for the past 10 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got one more joke before we get into discussions.
Okay.
I told my daughter, go to bed. The cows are sleeping in the field. She said, what's that got to do with anything? And I said, that means it's past your bedtime.
Oh, God. That was bad. That was really bad.
Oh.
Ugh.
Oh, I'm so pleased with myself.
Okay, well, I'm leaving that where it is. Back to New Game. So like we said, we are covering season 1 today with 12 episodes. It is rated a PG-13, so parental guidance is advised if you're under the age of 13. And on my anime list, it scored a 7.59 out of 10. On Anime Planet, a 4.2 out of 5, or an 8.4 out of 10. It has a dropped rate of 3.09 according to the information that was given to me from Anime Planet. So yeah, a pretty...
Hell yeah.
Yeah, not such a bad drop rate. It's obviously not in the, like... I'm trying to think what had a really...
Not in the 7s or 8s, like Umaru-chan and Prison School and stuff like that.
It's very similar drop rate to Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai and ReZero Part 1. The first, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it's still not quite as low as Jujutsu Kaisen, which has less than a 1.
Yeah, most of the things that have really, really low drop rates are films, obviously, because people will just start the film and then they'll watch it even if it's shit all the way through. So it's not so good for being able to tell how good a film's quality is. And obviously, the more episodes something is, if it's too core, then the higher chance of it having a drop rate is, because people will get distracted, especially if they're watching it weekly. Knowing me, it's very easy.
I was about to say, you.
Right. So drop rating is definitely not something that is, a consistent stat. If I were in university, I would probably get some marks off for that, considering the fact that there are not the same amount of episodes depending on each thing. It's just a general idea. But this 3.09 is a very good average along across the board kind of stat. It's not brilliant. It's not bad. It's just kind of there.
Yeah.
Which I think is fitting for New Game. It's a slice of life. Not everyone's going to love it, but it's got some really cute moments. There's quite a bit, I will say there's quite a bit of plot in it. So
you don't say.
Yeah, so like I said, that PG-13 rating is justified because of that. But yeah, okay, so it is a game, slice of life, comedy kind of genre, and it is based around Alba, who is a 18-year-old high school graduate who's going off into the workforce for the first time, and she has been hired at a gaming company that is producing the third installment of a series of games that she has been a fan of since she was a child. She is working under one of the game designers that she has been a huge fan of since she was a child because of this particular series, and it's just kind of skits and short little story bits along with the linear story of them completing the game. Each episode kind of has its own little story, or sometimes two stories within it, but like I said, that is that consistent theme going through of them actually completing the game. It's a very sweet, very funny anime. It's got some good jokes in there, and I feel like it's very solid if you like slice of life. If you're very interested in the behind the scenes of gaming, or you're a gamer yourself, this will probably be right up your alley. It's a cast of girls, so they're a girls team that's designing the game. So that's something. I don't know what you want to make of that, but it's a thing. And I feel like that's all the background.
So much fun.
Right,
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It was a good time.
So, spoiler chicken hats on.
Chicken hat.
Chicken hats on. Yeah, and let's... how do you want to do this? Do you want to talk about episode by episode, or do you want to just talk about our favourite skits and then do the linear story?
I mean, it's one of those things. I don't feel like this is, like, necessarily worth an episode by episode thing because it's so linear. It's just kind of an overarching story of they're making a game, and it's really just Alba just kind of starting and growing with the people around her and everyone else, you know, just kind of working towards completing the game and her progression as an artist. Yeah,
I actually thought that it was very interesting how right in the beginning they actually had her just like reading out of programming and game design books and just practicing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of my favorite things was seeing her progression of her character design and how they showed that in the anime all the way through.
Yeah, because she went from it taking her over a week to make one model to where by the time the 6-month period was over, she had made over 50.
Yes. Yeah, and had made one, like most of the time she was making just like NPCs, but then she ended up making, still an NPC, but like a storyline character, you know?
Yeah, and not only that, but one of the more popular storyline characters by the time it was all said and done.
Yeah. When the game's finally released, it's quite cool to be able to see everything come together from all of the different characters' perspectives. It's quite a project that you follow through and you kind of get attached to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, I kind of wanted to play it by the time it was all said and done.
It gave me huge Final Fantasy vibes, and I think that's probably what they were going for.
Oh, 100%, especially the like newer one where it's like chibi characters playing through.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, 100%. Very, very interested. Would play myself.
Yes. Oh, especially with the trailer. They did not have to go that hard for the trailer at the convention.
No.
Oh, my God.
You know,
that was so good.
I was thinking that same thing about the clip of the movie when they went to go see the movie and the Magical Girls film.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, they actually released like a Magical Girl film scene in this anime. Why? They didn't need to do that.
Not only that, but the continuity with the voice actress that was in the Magical Girl film actually working on the game and then like freaking out and getting her autograph. Oh, it's so cool.
That was really, really good. Okay, we've skipped ahead a bit, so let's kind of jump back to the beginning. So first day at work, the first skit kind of thing is just her learning how to make the models. We spoke about that a bit.
And getting locked out of the office twice.
Yeah, because she didn't have her key card and she needed to go pee.
Nope.
ID cards suck. Having a key card for a door or something, it's terrifying. I hate it.
Because, I mean, what happens if you accidentally demagnetize the key card?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Okay, so I fucked up the gas card at work.
Oh?
Yeah, so I got a magnet on the back of my phone so that way I can, you know, snap it to my dash whenever I get in and like run GPS and whatnot without having my phone in my hand because, you know, distracted driving is real bad.
Yeah.
Magnets will demagnetize cards.
Okay.
So it won't fuck up the chip, but if your card doesn't have a chip and the card swipes across a magnet, it fucks it up.
Right.
So the other day I was trying to put fuel in the van and I was like, oh, card's not working. Took it inside. Card's not working. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we had to get a new one, and so we couldn't take deliveries for a little bit. That was fun.
That was fun. Nice.
Great
Good
times. Job. I fucked up.
Yeah, I've had a scan key, like a key card that was like a, you know, those ones that's like a brick, it's chunky, and you hold it over a thing and it goes beep, and then it lets you open the door. You know, that kind of thing?
Yep.
I've had one of those before.
Oh?
And that was horrible. Hated that. But I preferred it to having to put the key code in and then open the door because only managers got key cards. Everyone else had to type in the code and open the door. And if you got the code wrong, you could open the door without putting the code in. It didn't lock. It just set the alarm off, which is the most stupid thing.
I think it should have like a timed response.
It honestly, yeah. I just don't understand why it wasn't connected to a lock as well. Like, because obviously this was when I was working retail. So you're in a mall, in a busy store, in the middle of a Saturday, and some poor 16-year-old kid who's working at this retail store has just set the alarm off throughout the whole store because they got the key code wrong. And it wouldn't tell you if you got it right. It wouldn't be like a beep and then it wouldn't do that. It would just like accept the code, and then if you open the door, the alarm would either go off or it wouldn't. It was the most stupid thing.
Oh, technology. You gotta love it.
Yeah, it was horrible. And then my key card was not very pleasant either. Basically, that door was just the worst.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, and then I had, at my previous job at the agency, when I worked there, I had a couple keys and a swipey card as well for that, for the lift and the front door and then the office door. And then it was, I hate being responsible for things like that. It's horrible.
So we can all take away from this that Blue hates responsibility.
Facts. Honestly, facts.
Oh, I love it.
Like, if I could just live on a farm, not in one.
In a farm. Yes, continue.
In a cottage on a farm in the middle of nowhere, and only be responsible for my own livelihood and not have to worry about bills or keys or anything. That would be lovely. That would be great.
We'll get there. We'll get there one of these days.
Okay.
That's the dream.
Right, yeah. Episode 2, the drinking party, adult drinking party. This was one of my favorite sketches. It's so dumb. But the drinking age in Japan is 20, so she does not get drunk, but she has to deal with all of her co-workers being drunk. It's like the, you're welcome to the company party for her. And, it's a really funny sketch.
Yes. So, did you watch the one at the end of episode 12 where Alba was helping Ko home?
Yeah.
And then it just shows the security guard coming up to him. It's like, hey, what's going on? And then Nanachi comes walking up with a fucking M16 on her back. And the security guard's like, what? I lost my shit. I forgot that was on there. I couldn't breathe. I was like, these damn adult parties.
She is one of my favorite characters, I think, because she is the true straight man throughout the entire thing. I don't think you see her really crack a smile at all. Maybe once or twice at something cute, but like, she is so blunt. It's hilarious.
Yes. Oh, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, adult drinking party. That was fun. Also, I really wanted food.
Oh, yeah.
This made me want so much food. Also, I get what you say with the K-On! Vibes, because they were always snacking on something.
Yeah.
They
and
had
the tea
time.
in the middle of the hallway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Real good K-On! Vibes.
Yeah. One thing I will say is that when Alba is making the first NPC, the first villager that she makes, and they show multiple times, they show like a clip of the first sketch, and then the second, and then the third, and then the fourth every time that she gets sent back and has to adjust something.
Mm-hmm.
I know I don't I wasn't like, I was sketching and doing other things whilst watching this anime, I'm not gonna lie, but also I didn't notice differences between those, and maybe that was the point, is like that they're so subtle differences that you have to have a game developer's eye or whatever to be able to see them.
Well, I mean,
am I just being dumb? Were there differences?
There were like shading differences and stuff added. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Because they were talking about very subtle differences. That was part of the plot, is that they were super subtle.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't surprised when I was like, okay, well, maybe they're just really, really subtle differences. I just feel like maybe to prove a point, I could have seen her do things like with the end, because they were talking about her expression being wrong throughout the whole thing, and I could have seen something like her adding an extra highlight in the eyeball, or something like the eyeball, and he has the one highlight, but then they add the second highlight for the last thing, so it's like more of a dramatic visual difference for the end result. I don't know.
But I mean, like, she was like slowly making like subtle design tweaks. Like, she was making the bow bigger and smaller, working on the shading. That. Like, there were like really good tweaks in there, but then I get what you were saying with the final product, like maybe at least changing the face a bit more than what they did.
I think the face is my biggest issue, because she's on the phone with her friend and she has this big revelation of like, oh, I need to add a personality and a backstory, and I can do that through her facial expression, and I can make the backstory that I've got in my head come to fruition by applying it to her face. Now I know what to do. And then they didn't really do it before and after, so you're going off of your memory, and then it shows the face, and I don't remember there being a difference. And I just remember thinking, oh, this was a real moment in the anime where they could have, like, done a bit more to have really made an impactful difference for the viewer.
So what you're saying is you wanted her to turn the smile upside down to a frown.
Yeah, I wanted her to add vampire teeth and elf ears and blood dripping from the eyeballs and a freaking unicorn horn too, because why not?
I mean, hey, that sounds like the level of differences you're trying to get at here.
Yeah. No, I just think it was one of those things where it was like the animation team was like, oh, subtle differences, and they were doing subtle differences, and the rest of the animation team were like, yes, great. And then they released the anime, and as a pleb regular viewer, we can't really notice those differences. I don't know, I feel like maybe they should have got somebody from accounting to pop their head round and just be like, hey, what do you think of these transformations? And they could be like, what transformation? You know what I mean? I feel like it was just one of those things where an artist got a bit in their artist head, if you know what I mean. Just my thought, just my opinion. If you saw the differences, then maybe it's, like I said, I was doing other things while watching, so they may have been more impactful to other people.
You also got to think, like, your and I's art styles are two completely different things.
That's true.
So you and I are going to focus on two like completely different, things whenever it comes to watching art be done, especially digital art.
Yeah, I know nothing about digital art.
So I get where you're coming from, for sure. And I do think like there are very slight differences.
Yeah.
I noticed them just because I was like hardcore paying attention to that shit.
Yeah.
Because whenever it comes down to it, we've had this discussion before. Whenever it comes to art, I fucking hate drawing.
Yeah.
But I love shading.
Yeah.
Like I can get down with some shading. So like subtle shading tweaks, I'm like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So completely off topic. However, I'm gonna go to left field for a second.
Okay.
Did you come out of this show with any ships?
Oh, 100%. Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Sorry, I had to ask because I was looking at the comments throughout this and I was like, yes, I'm here for the ships.
Toriyama and Yagami.
Yes, uh-huh.
Yeah, 100%.
Alba and Hifumi for me as well.
Oh, they would be cute. Yeah.
I also just like how towards the end where Hifumi was just like, oh, maybe if I feed her, she'll stay nice. And I was like, mood.
Yeah, honestly though.
But also she's like, are you the kind of person that whenever you get close to someone, you're mean to them? I don't want her to be mean to me. Maybe we shouldn't get closer to this. And I'm like, oh my God. But I love it. Like, oh my God, I love stuff like that.
Yeah, I actually feel like she, secondarily to Alba, has the most character progression. You do get to see, I'm just going to pull up some names here. Yagami has a character progression towards the end, and Alba has consistent character progression in both maturing as a young adult and art style throughout, so I think that's quite good. Some of the characters are a little bit flat, but they are supporting characters, so I'm not expecting everyone to have growth. That would be a whole lot. Yeah, I think the ones that need growth have a lot of it. I think it kind of happens in spades, which is, I find, is something that is quite rare for a slice of life, especially in this style. I find that some they are like small stories and so they don't tend to have a lot of development over time. But this one I feel like checks all the boxes when it comes to that.
I feel like true slice of life animes have that character development, whereas sports slice of life animes do not for their supporting characters. So I think it kind of depends on, what kind of true slice of life you're getting at here.
And that also depends on what sports anime you're getting here, because Haikyuu.
But Haikyuu is a massive sports anime, though, so they have time to let their characters breathe. If Haikyuu only got one core, do you think everybody would have got the character development that they had?
Yeah, but even season 1 had development.
Yes, between the main two characters, and everybody else kind of like slowly poured in. But season 1 also had 2 cores.
Well, also...
Well...
I'm trying to think of another sports anime, but my brain is fried because I'm in a different...
Because All Out didn't have that. Let's see here. Dive certainly didn't fucking have that. Free had just a little bit.
Free has quite... I don't know. First season, debatably.
I mean, our main character had a lot of character development and then got set back very quickly towards the end there. I do remember that. Kuroko no Basuke Not necessarily.
At least between the two main characters. No, I'd say there's at least 3 characters in the first season that had a fair bit of growth.
But it was also 25 episodes.
Okay, fair.
And now, let's look at things like Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. 12 episodes, everybody was elevated.
Is that a slice of life?
Yes, it is. That is 100% of slice of life.
Okay then, fair.
You're lying, April.
Okay, music doesn't
Kids
count
on a slope.
because music.
No,
Music doesn't
you
count
start that with
because music is solely based on emotion. Sport isn't based on emotion.
But music is still slice of life. Whereas sports have their own specific category. Are they partial? Yes. But music is not its own category. It is just slice of life.
Okay, yeah, but sports anime categorize sport above slice of life. They're sport first, a slice of life second. So...
Exactly. But again, that's why I'm saying there's a difference between slice of life and X slice of life.
Also, K-On! Had a lot less character progression than this did.
I don't feel like it was supposed to, though.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying that this has more character growth in it than other slice of lives based on this same structure.
But can you really compare the structure to K-On! Whenever it comes to that kind of development, though? And also, I like how you're trying to make your general statement more specific.
Well, you're a butt.
That's what I was waiting for. There we go. Oh, it's been too long since I've gotten to give you shit, so here I am getting to interrogate you for the fun of everyone listening.
It's been a while since I called you a butt.
I have missed it very much.
Honestly, that's just your nickname now. It's just butt.
You know, I need to go in and, change my stuff on this. Hang on. I can do that. Hold up. Let's see here.
What are you changing it to? Butthead Brad?
All right, so if you look handily on the screen...
Your pronouns are butt.
It was loaf of bread, so, you know.
Oh, there you go.
I can't be real with this.
No.
Nobody else sees this.
Just us.
Oh,
okay.
I love it.
Well, getting back to the shit. Late for Work, episode 3. It's a very small storyline. I feel like most of that episode is just covering her going back over her villager again.
Mm-hmm.
Her first paycheck, the stories of that were quite funny.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It was little, not necessarily character growth, but character building, I guess, getting to know more about the characters and what they like.
Yes. And I will say that this episode probably had the sweetest moment of the anime, in my opinion, when Alba uses her first paycheck to buy a cake to share with her family, as thanks for buying her suit and just, supporting her and being a good family.
Now, you see, I get that. However, I will raise you the ending scene between Alba and Ko, with Alba being like, I will follow you to the ends of the earth if you do decide to become the art director. I found that very sweet. Okay,
but also this is a sweet moment, plus there's cake involved, so I win.
You see, you just want food.
That's true.
I know you at this point.
Oh, okay. Debatably, also the moment where, what's her face that you just mentioned a name of, but I can't think of it, gets sick.
Oh, Ko?
Yeah, and then asks to be fed. That was also a very sweet moment.
Yes. Also, just Ko and the AD's relationship together just makes me very happy.
Yeah.
Also, Ko, her dub actress is voiced by the same person who does Toka from Data Live, and that just makes me so happy.
Yeah, Rin and Ko.
Also, oh my god, Alba being voiced by Cowdy's voice actress.
Yes.
I fangirled so hard.
I know you did. You sent me a message.
Of course. How could I not?
Right?
Anytime I have a grand revelation like that, everyone must know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, when Rin gets sick and then Ko feeds her. Those are the names that I was thinking of that couldn't find.
Yeah, for some reason I couldn't remember Rin's name.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she's so background supporty, and yet she's so she's prominent but not too prominent. She's not Ko prominent.
Yeah, she's much more professional in the work environment and therefore doesn't get up to as much shenanigans, which makes...
She's work mom.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense for the structure of the anime and for how everything's laid out and how much her character appears. So, but yeah, there are... I think she's a fantastic juxtaposition for Ko, because obviously Ko has a much more laid back, relaxed work attitude, but also that is her sort of adapting a personality because previously she was so strict and regimented.
Mm-hmm.
And so Rin is kind of like her stability, while Ko is kind of figuring out what she's doing and how she's supposed to behave in the work environment and where she wants to go with her career. Rin is her baseline. And I think that's why I think their ship works so well. And even if you don't ship them, just their friendship works so well.
Well, it's also one of those things, too, to where I definitely understand, like, Ko having to have her opposite comparatively, because I know that were I ever to be put in a situation of, like, Ko being, like, thrown into a position of management and then expectations being what they are. Because I know how hard you and I both work, and so I can only imagine how it would be if we had people working for us and our expectations that would kind of be cast on them.
Yeah.
Just because of our work ethics. So I totally, like, get that whole, like, growth process and everything that kind of came from that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Also, Mozoku is best cat.
Yeah, he's so tubby.
So cute. All he wants is snacks. And then, what was it, episode 10, where it kept, like, cutting back and forth between Mozoku and everything else. And so, like, whenever he's just, like, dangling his foot off the cat tree trying to get down.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, my God. I could watch a whole, like, episode of just Mozoku shenanigans.
Yes. Like I said, I don't think we should go through necessarily all of the skits. But yeah, so episode 7 is where Umiko gets introduced and the girls go to the airsoft shooting range. I think that is probably one of my favorite moments in the anime because it's so odd.
Uh-huh.
And she's one of my favorite characters. Like I said before, she's just so random.
Oh, 100%. Like, just a fantastic character. And also a fantastic foil for Alba and Nanichi's shenanigans. More specifically, Nanichi.
Yes. And Nervous Nurse also happens that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 8, Nene takes up the part-time job at the company. And then she eats Ko's pudding.
Yep.
And everything kind of gets really blown out of proportion for that, but also terrifying.
But also, don't eat somebody else's pudding,
She didn't see the name on it.
Open her eyes.
It was a mistake.
The way you say that makes it sound like you've eaten something that belonged to someone else before.
I actually haven't, because I've never had a company fridge.
I'm talking about like at home or something like that.
Oh, at home, there's no names on things. You eat what's there, and if somebody else didn't eat it, then that's their fault. They were late to it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. See, it's like you are speaking from personal experience.
Well, that's everybody in my family. Do you have a family that writes your name on things?
No. However, it is at least, nice to ask for things before you just decide to nom them. No, my family is just the first person who gets there is who eats it. If you're not fast enough, it sucks to be you. I've hid things in my bedroom because of that. So, speaking of food, whilst we're on the topic, so I don't know if you caught any of the stream of me trying everything that you sent.
Oh, no, I didn't. I missed it. I was so mad.
So, I have updates on things.
Mm-hmm.
Ketchup potato chips.
Yeah. You don't like them?
Oh, they're so bad. Like, they smell like ketchup. They do not taste like
they
ketchup.
Don't taste anything like ketchup.
They taste like vinegar with like a slight hint of pickle. Like, it's real weird how they taste.
Yeah.
You want to know how much I did not like them?
How much?
My chat for the rest of the stream. So I have a channel points redemption.
Yeah.
That is no cursing. And so my chat kind of gets to pick the punishment on that sometimes if I have something I can be punished with.
Right.
My punishment, by the time the end of the stream came around, I had to eat 3 chips for every cuss word I dropped anytime they redeemed the no cursing.
That's funny.
Oh, it was so bad. I was not a happy boy.
That's funny. I will have to share with my Canadian fellows that Americans do not like ketchup crisps then.
However, beans on toast, delicious.
Good.
Beans by themselves,
It's the toast that makes it.
It really is. Because I tried the beans by themselves. Like, I had them heated up, chilling on my desk, waiting for the stream to start.
Yeah.
And so I nommed a bite, and I was like, I don't really notice a difference between that and like American baked beans.
Yeah.
If anything, the British beans might be a tad bit more like acidic or tomatoey, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but it's just a tad. It was just enough to where I noticed it, but not enough to where I was like, I hate these.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's funnily enough that, ketchup, tomatoes.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, but for some reason I put it on toast and I was like, oh my God, this went from like a 6 to like an 8.5.
Yeah, it makes the difference. Yeah. So the main difference, I think, between British beans and American beans is the amount of preservatives in. There are different laws in Europe where like different products are banned. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a different level of preservatives. And also I'm fairly certain that American beans have a level of beef in them, whether it's like a beef oil or flavoring or something, and makes them a little bit meatier, which takes out the tang of the tomato that you get in the in the British beans.
Well, I think our baked beans are more kind of a like pork style thing,
okay,
not necessarily beef, but yeah, a little bit more.
Okay,
pork.
I knew they were meaty, and I feel like yours tend to be a little bit smokier as well.
Maybe. Yeah. I think it depends on the flavor, though, like what kind, because we have just a vast multitude of bean flavors.
Well, I should have sent you maple beans. I doubt you have those.
I would have. Actually, we do.
Do you? Okay, well then.
But however, if you had, you would have caught so much shit. I'm honestly surprised there was not a bottle of maple syrup
I tried to get you maple leaf bottle of maple syrup because they do sell those and they're like tourism things and you can only really get them in tourist shops. And it was just Canada Day, so they were selling them. A couple of months ago, it was Canada Day. So I was like, maybe if I go to like the clearance section of something, they might have one, and they didn't, and I was sad. So I tried.
But on the bright side, I now have a Canada mug that will sit on my desk forever. But by the way, blueberry tea, not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. Now, the tea crackers, on the other hand, those were fantastic.
They were rich teas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so there's a thing about rich teas.
Uh-huh.
They are the perfect tea biscuit. That's just how they have been described by everybody. They are the perfect tea biscuit. And they are imported from Britain. They don't make them out here. You have to get them imported.
Mm-hmm.
So they sell them in special places. And there's one place in Red Deer that sells them called London Drugs. I don't know if they have it in America. I don't know. It's just a drugstore. But the chain is London Drugs. And they sell rich teas. And they are always sold out the day they are stocked. And they're either bought by a British family or a Chinese family. And it's because who drinks the most tea in the world? Probably. If it's not Brits, it's probably the Chinese. But the whole tea drinking world has kind of dubbed them as the perfect tea biscuit. And so, they're always snaveled.
Oh, well, they were fantastic. Yeah. I enjoyed them very much.
Good.
We're not going to talk about perhaps maybe or maybe not soiling them by dipping them in the tea.
No, that's good. You're supposed to.
Oh, hey, looky there. See, I did good.
You did good. Yeah.
And so they turned into like a little gaming snack for the next couple of days where I played Siege. I was just sitting there just nom.
That's the thing with them is you don't realize how many you're eating until they're gone and you go, oh, geez, I just ate a whole packet in one sitting.
Yeah, I was like, I probably shouldn't have gone through those so quickly. But then I was like, that's probably a good thing because they're just chilling on my desk, so they could have went stale.
They do go stale quite quick, yeah. But yeah, you're supposed to dip them. They're quite dangerous when you dip them because they go soggy very quickly.
Yeah, I also noticed that. Yeah. But one thing so you know what they remind me of? Do y'all have Ritz up there?
Yeah.
So they taste very reminiscent of Ritz. Just Ritz are a little bit saltier.
Okay.
Because they have the salt on the outside, but if you got rid of the salt, they taste exactly the same.
Huh.
Like if you had like a slightly fluffier Ritz.
Yeah. A fluffier, sweet Ritz.
I mean, Ritz are sweet, but they just have a little bit of salt on the outside.
And get rid of the cheesy dust.
Excuse me?
Do your Ritz not have cheesy dust?
No, they do not.
Oh.
I'm learning so much about Canada, and we get shit for putting cheese and sugar on everything.
You have those Ritz that are like the Ritz cracker, and then the cheese, the gross, like basically canned cheese, and then another Ritz cracker, and it's like a cheese sandwich, and it's kind of like an Oreo.
The cracker packs. Yeah, I know what you're talking about with those. Yeah, now that's different. Yeah,
and then we have like the regular Ritz without the cheese dust, but then I think we do have ones that have cheese dust, and then we have spicy Ritz, and then we also have, I think, dill Ritz as well.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I hate dill. Like ranch
Me
is my
too. I
least
hate
favorite
dill.
thing on the planet. It's so.
Yeah, I don't like the spice, so I don't like dill pickles or dill on food. I don't like the herb. Like the herb is not nice.
I'm not a fan. I feel like dill is the reason why I hate ranch so much. Other than ranch, also just feels like it makes my arteries want to clog because the amount of like mayonnaise and cream that goes into it.
Ranch is quite hard to find as a vegetarian because a lot of them have anchovy oil in them.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Liam Perring's Worcestershire sauce also has anchovy oil in it. So I have to go with compliments and off-brand Worcestershire sauce because, it's not veg.
And speaking of things that make my arteries want to clog, so at the last job, there is a super, super nice Hispanic lady that worked at the other end of the plaza in front of the Mexican grocery store. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, from like daylight to dark, she would be outside of there selling out of the back of her van homemade tamales and street corn. But her street corn was not on the cob. It was in a cup.
Okay.
And so what she would do is that if you ordered the cup, it was $5 or I think for y'all like $7. And what it is she would take a giant scoop of corn, throw it in a styrofoam cup, and then get her jar of mayonnaise and just and it's like some like mayonnaise spice mixture thing. Either way, not good for you by any shape of the imagination. Like whenever she would just sit there and go, I could just immediately feel my arteries clog. Something that tastes so good should also not make me want to vomit because of how bad it is for you.
That's
but it's so good.
That's one thing I'm gonna be excited about living in a city for, and hopefully when COVID restrictions lift, is street food. I haven't had street food in so long.
Oh,
yeah.
The only kind of street food I just really, really want, I want takoyaki so bad.
Yeah. I
want good takoyaki.
You know what I miss from the UK? At Christmas time, they used to make chestnuts in the street, and I miss that. I don't even think we really got them very often. I remember them being quite expensive because they were like a tourist attraction thing. But I remember like walking, and the German sausage market. There was, not that I could eat them now, but yeah, there was a huge German sausage market with the, obviously Germans would all come up to Britain at Christmas. And sell all of their wares. I remember that. It's always smelled so good.
Oh, I bet. You know what I kind of want to try just for shits and giggles?
What?
Toasted cashews. Because I love cashews.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just a like growing up thing because out in the barn, like Papa always had a giant tin of cashews. And that was just kind of the thing. Like we'd sit out there, we'd watch TV, watch NCIS or some shit, and just snack on cashews.
Yeah.
And so I fucking love cashews, but they are so expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of want to take those and like toast them just to try them.
I think I've had roasted cashews before.
I'm just curious how they would be because cashews are like fantastic and sweet and salty.
Yeah, I think they just kind of like go a bit mushy and smooth.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. Can't really remember.
And so on the note of like toasting and or smoking things, so I smoked my second pork loin last weekend.
Okay.
And it's so much better than the first. Your boy did good. I'm super proud of myself.
Yay.
Yeah, I love improvement, but this was like drastic improvement. Like I could have entered this bitch in like a cooking contest.
Cool, good.
Yeah, it was delicious. It was fantastic. I love smoking. Don't take that out of context, children. Also, children, if you're listening to this, why?
Okay. Yeah, this is rated PG-13, the anime, and our podcast is probably
very
at
much
least
rated
that.
E for explicit.
Yeah, I was gonna say like at least a PG-13. Okay.
Yeah, how many F-bombs have I? No, this is well beyond PG-13. Because PG-13, you're only allowed one F-bomb, and I think I've dropped at least 12 since the start of this podcast.
Fuck. There we go. We are definitely not PG-13 now.
Who are you, and what have you done with Blue?
I don't know. I am your friend. I am somewhat French, somewhat something else. No one will know.
Oh my god, what is this
I just kind of sound like a gremlin. I am French gremlin. Also Eastern European. in some way. So I don't know.
Oh,
I could maybe be a Austin Powers character.
I like how your accent just like slowly started twisting there at the end to like bring out the English.
Honestly, I don't know.
Oh my god, I love it.
We still have more anime to cover. Okay.
Do we?
Yeah, bathhouse in the middle of the night. Boo.
Oh, that's right. That's the thing.
Yeah, that was okay. I mean, it was a bathhouse plot. It was for plot, and then
no, Keijo is plot for plot.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But that was for plot. Like, let's be real. Also, that bear sleeping bag. I want one.
Get it?
I want. It has legs.
You know what I found out?
What?
They have liquid cooled beds, mate.
What, like computer systems liquid cooling?
Yes. I think it's just water instead of like liquid coolant.
It's just a 70s water
it's like
bed.
chilled water. And so it can either heat it up or chill it.
Huh.
But it runs through in tubes.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like a water bed. Like it runs like a PC cooling system.
Like
I don't know how much it costs, but I want it. Because I'm such a hot-natured person.
Like an astronaut.
Maybe. I don't know.
I thought it was like in spacesuits. They have like fluid that runs through them to keep the limbs warm and stuff. Or maybe I think it's the air. Yeah, no, that's bike races. Suits have airbags in like shoulder pads and elbow airbags.
Huh?
And they're for motorbike races. They have special suits they put on where they have airbags in like the elbows and wrists and shoulders and hips and back and knees and butt and stuff. So like if they land, only specific airbags will go off. So then if they like fall off, land and tumble, depending on how they land, different airbags will go off to protect them.
Oh my god, that's handy as hell.
Really
that should be like readily available for people.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ready for public stuff, but I do know, well, at least last I heard of it was being talked about or being used in professional motorbike sports. I don't know. It's been, my dad's into it. I overheard it. Don't come at me. Is what I'm going at.
Or do in the comments, just at her.
Okay, fine. Yeah, come at me. I'm pretty clear that I know practically nothing about it, but I have heard about it. And then in astronauts' suits, they have liquid cooling throughout the suit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just got confused as to whether which one did which. And then I was like, yes, because an astronaut needs airbags and a motorbike racer needs liquid cooling. That's how that works. So
you know what? Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I figured it out in the end. Okay. Box of donuts. Too many donuts. Can you ever have too many? They had too many donuts.
I can have too many donuts because sweets make me sick.
That's true. I feel like in my head I go, can you have too many donuts? And then I eat 3 and I'm so done. And I mean like those tiny little ones that you get that are coated in sugar when you're at a fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have 3 of those and I'm done. 1 regular donut.
You mean funnel cakes?
No, like the mini donuts.
You guys have donuts at the fair?
Yeah.
Our fairs, you get funnel cakes.
No, I see. Funnel cakes only exist in America. Yeah, no, they're like...
It's like hash browns, but
yeah, no, that's only
donuts.
That's only an American thing.
The hell?
Yeah.
You mean you guys don't like powder sugar covered hash browns?
No, because we have
hash browns made out of dough.
Because we have mini donuts.
But we also have those. You can get them at Dunkin's or the fucking Tim Hortons.
When you're at a fair, they're fresh made in front of you, and they're hot and delicious. And sometimes you have chocolate syrup to dip them in, and I think they serve them at Boston Pizza. But also,
well, we can go get that at Krispy Kreme whenever the light's on. If the lights are on, you know the fucking
Krispy Kreme only exists in America.
Still, we have it. We have fresh donuts that are made before us. We can even watch them glaze them. They have like little glazing machines that just go...
You have just taken away all of the magic of getting fresh, fair donuts. So you had to create something to replace it. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, but ours are chains. Y'all have to wait for the fair. All we have to do is wait for the bright-ass red neon light to go on.
Tim's. Or like regular
donuts.
No,
we can't get that. We go get Timbits.
Yeah, because you call them donut holes.
Yeah.
The donut middles. Yeah, we don't have that. We have Timbits.
I don't know what sounds worse.
Timbits sounds worse. No, I don't know. Donut holes sounds pretty bad too. They're both pretty bad.
Sorry, children.
Like we said, they shouldn't be listening to this.
No.
I'm just glad it's not Tim's bits. the lack of the S works in our favour.
Right.
Because if it was Tim's bits and we were looking at a thing of balls, then that's a bit much, I think. Mr. Horton, we did not ask for that.
Oh.
But yeah, Tim bits.
So yeah. So donuts, sleepless nights, Alba and Nanachi get into a fight.
Why was that a poem?
Was it a poem?
It rhymed.
I'm trying a new thing where I'm trying to be a rapper.
Oh.
I'm trying to be a TikTok rapper. Oh, my career is obviously very failing. However,
yeah, okay, fantastic, brilliant. We're not delirious, I promise.
Oh, I'm so tired.
Okay, Fairy Story 3, episode 11. This is second to last one is coming out. Yes, they get shit printed in a magazine. It's coming out. They're all excited, finishing up final products. Nene has a tearful farewell. Farewell. I told you not to. Delirious. Farewell. Because her part-time job's coming to an end and they're not going to rehire because they're outsourcing in the future. And she, gets a card to be like, oh, maybe I'll contact these. I don't know. It's fine. Okay, yeah, they release shit into a magazine. Cole gets dressed up cute for an interview.
Oh, that's so adorable.
She looks
I
very
love that
sweet.
little bit.
Because she's only, 25, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, she's only 25, if I can remember from the first episode. And, she looks very sweet. Very Japanese fashion. Very cute. Episode 12. The girls get together to buy their own special edition, limited edition copy of Fairies Story 3 as it goes on sale. And then
they spoil the game.
They spoil it so bad because their big mouths do not keep anything shut. And I would have been fuming if I was in that crowd.
Oh my god.
Fuming.
I would have been too.
Yeah.
Like that. But at the same time, I also would have been like, oh, hey, look, it's the people that made the game.
Yeah, I feel like of all of the ways to get it spoiled, that is probably the best way to get it spoiled, is to be spoiled by the game developers themselves.
Right.
So I would still be fuming, but also it would be a good story to tell once you got past the aggravation.
Right? Like, oh my god, I had the game spoiled for me by the people that made it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah. So it could have been worse, but also don't spoil things for people. It's why we specifically have so many spoiler warnings all over our episodes.
Yeah. Like, there's a reason why we got spoiler chicken hats made.
Yeah, put them on, my guy.
Yeah. Those will be available in the merch shop. Never.
Hey, don't say never. Maybe one day.
Yep, maybe one day. Honestly, though, I would love that.
Yes. And then they have a wrap-up party for the whole team, all of the teams, everyone involved, because obviously we're only kind of dealing with like the art team, the motion team, and a bit of the programming team, but we don't actually get to see anyone else pretty much who works on the project except the voice actor and a couple of the higher ups. But like, that's it. It's focused very small on a very small section of the company. So, yeah, there's like so many more people. So you get this big party and you get to see kind of everyone involved, even if they're just background folk.
Mm-hmm.
Carl has a speech at the thing where she thanks everyone, and it kind of shows her growth from when she was previously the art director or whatever. She gets asked to be the art director for the next project, and there's a bit of tension, but Alba goes in and is like, I really think you're amazing. And then they make up, everyone's happy, good time. And I want to know who won those damn PZ2s or whatever they were.
I mean, PZ4s or PS4s.
Yeah, I want to know who won them, because they were advertising them as the raffle first prize, the grand prize of the raffle, and then skipped away.
Yeah, but I mean, Nanachi got an M16, although apparently an AK-47 would be much more suiting for
It's such a dumb joke.
Oh, it's so dumb, but at the same time, I'm like, it's fitting. I love this so much.
Yeah. And that's it. That's the end.
That's it. I give it like an 8.
I think that's fair. I'm going to give it... because I do, I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Damn it, Blue.
I know, right? I have to be under you. I have to be a half a point below.
Nothing has changed.
Right.
Next time you pick a topic, I'm going to make sure to do that shit to you, too. Oh, wait, I did do that with Dive.
You did.
What did I give it, a 0?
Something like that. You gave it like a -4 at the end or something.
Yeah, I feel like the more you talked, the more I just kept...
You're just like, oh yeah, that's a good point as to why I should deduct a thing. Get rid of a point. Oh, that's like another good point as to why. And I'm like, all of these good points as to why you should deduct points stays at my hardcore like 9 out of 10 because I'm just passionate about it. For no reason. Completely biased.
Oh my god. So just like we need to cover like our like 4 best for like our 2-year anniversary, we also need to cover like our 4 worst.
Oh my god. I don't want to.
You're right. I don't want to either.
I don't.
But like redoing something like Bunny Girl Senpai in like the first season of Dr. Stone or something would be cool.
You know what we should do?
But I don't want to have to rewatch Dive.
It would be funny if we, which would probably end up being Dive, but if we watched the, excluding movies, highest drop rate and lowest drop rate back to back.
Yeah, I could see
at the end of 2 years.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Although that would end up being Jujutsu Kaisen and something else.
I don't know. We'll have to go through. I'll have to finish the rest of the drop rates on everything else because I feel like there could be a chance that it's something. I don't know. Something else. I'm intrigued.
I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer are like my top 2 for lowest drop rates.
That's what you think.
I guarantee it.
Yeah. You know what I might do is I might go through on our spreadsheet and turn all of the movies in their drop rate column to a different color. Just so that we can eliminate them when looking through quickly.
Sure.
Yeah.
I also need Tree to hurry up and accept my $50 and start like going through and getting all of our ratings at the end of things.
Yeah. Well, I can put in ours of today.
Sure, why not?
Because I know what these are.
An 8 and a
7.
An 8 and an 8.
Boo, I've already written 7.5. Ha!
How dare.
Ha!
How dare. You just do this shit to spite me now.
Sometimes.
I see how
just
it
for
is.
funsies.
Sometimes my ass.
Okay, but I think that is everything.
Yeah. I enjoy this. It's good to be back in the swing of things. Yeah. It's fun. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's good for the shenanigans. I have missed it very much.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Don't lie to me.
No, I have. I have genuinely missed this. This makes everything feel like so much more normal doing this.
It does. Oh my god. It's felt so weird. Like not... For the past 2 weeks, I haven't had to watch any anime.
No.
So I've been like, I felt lost.
Yeah.
Like I felt like the structure of my week has been like thrown into a void.
Yeah.
Although it's been nice because I don't feel pressured to record the fucking or like edit the podcast in like a 2-day span. I actually had a full week to do the shit. Yeah. But who knows what the schedule in the future holds at this point.
We'll see. We'll see.
So, if you like the voice that accompanied me this week, Blue, you can find her on Instagram and Twitter at BlueLavenderSTM. Lavender is spelled with A, because she has to be different. Mm-hmm. Also, Instagram for Dog Tilly at BestTillyBean for best doggo photos. She's actually on Twitch at twitch.tv/BlueLavender, but she never streams.
Yes. And if you like Brad, you can find him at Brad Carter Gaming on pretty much all of the socials. And be sure to check him out on Twitch because he does stream. Drop him a follow. And maybe you'll get to see him try more Canadian/British treats in the future.
Yeah, continue to send me snacks. And I will continue to punish myself and others because I also had my friends and family try the chips. And they also were not pleased.
That's funny. But yeah, I'll have to send you maybe a prawn cocktail flavored crisps from the UK.
Oh.
And UK salt and vinegar because they taste different.
Interesting.
And maybe if I can, UK cream soda because that is also different from America cream soda.
Aha, I bet you can send that.
Boo. Boo. But yes, okay, if you want to follow the both of us, though, or the podcast on the socials, you can do so at BnB Anime. We're BnB Anime across all platforms, so be sure to drop us a follow wherever you're at and hit us up in those DMs for any answers to our questions that we've asked throughout the episodes, or just to send us memes or something. We love that too. We're also on YouTube at BnB Anime, and we have a website which is www.bnbanime.com, where we have all of our episodes already archived, along with download buttons and links to your favourite listening platforms if you wish to download them directly to there. We also have a comment section on there. We have behind the scenes, we have info on both Brad and I, links to our IMDb pages if you're curious about our voice acting stuff. We have friends of the podcast, art stuff on there, loads of different stuff on that website, so be sure to check it out if you're curious. But I think that is everything.
So, thank you all so much for listening. Blue and I greatly appreciate it. Next week, Laid Back Camp Season 2. So break out your blankets and campfires and bring out your s'mores, because it's time to get cozy once again. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see the beautiful scenery and see our quartet go back camping. I couldn't think of the right word. I wanted to say quintuplets, but then I'm like, no, that's a different anime. It's a different anime entirely.
Yep.
Oh, but until then, we'll catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.